Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. One of the things that yoga does for me is it creates a transparency to that which is transcendent. And those are kind of big words, but the whole idea is it helps us use our creative imagination to admit our flaws while at the same time accepting our divine inheritance. Yoga means union, and that means the reconciliation of the irreconcilables. There are so many things that on the surface of life are unendurable. Basic Buddhism, all life has a component of suffering. It's really hard to take it. And in the words of the mystics, how do you glorify heaven to overcome personal pain? So it's a kind of new horizon that you have to set your sights on. Not what politics tells you, not what social media tells you, not what the Facebook, Google algorithms will tell you about yourself. But how do you activate the radiance, the bioluminescence, the light? Well, you have to first identify yourself with that electromagnetic aura or force that you have. And then you have to seek, quest, search, which is the yoga path. Everyone has an ancient of days, a wise part deep in their DNA. And it also exists in the land of eternal youth. It helps us relate to a wider reality. It connects us to what could be called the unified field theory. Everything is interconnected to everything else, like Indra's net of gems, or holography, that through the one part you see everything reflected. And yoga wants you to tax yourself. It's called tapas. There's a certain kind of mystical bliss that happens when the body is heated in the right way. Just think about how athletes get into a certain zone by developing their physical skills to the max. And of course, in a certain way, it means you have to learn to survive a succession of trials. You got to put your feet to the fire. And life will give you plenty. It's just a matter of whether or not you have the resources and resilience to stay with it and not be crippled by it. But when you do this, you'll feel a certain kind of vitality. I'm still of the Joseph Campbell fold that says most people don't know what the meaning of life is. All philosophers have talked about it, flapping their gums for centuries. No one's given us an answer that's acceptable. Even science says we don't know everything yet. We'll put it off to the future. Most people don't care whether or not they know what the meaning of life is. But what they really want is an experience of being fully alive while you're alive and conscious of it. So that means you have to learn to put yourself on the side of life and not on the side of protecting ideas. Because ultimately, it's not the agony of the quest. It's the rapture of the revelation. So go for it. Even if it means, as the stories say, we will enter into fateful regions of treasure and danger. But what will we wrest from the gods? What boon will we get if we go into the dark underworld of our own subconscious? Another way of saying it is each person has to learn to seek the Holy Grail. You know, it's one of the metaphors that I love. The knights deemed it would be unworthy of them to enter into the forest as a group. So each one went where there was no way or path, and it was darkest. So if you do that, you'll learn to be in your element. You'll learn to track the things that are important to you, meaningful to you, significant to you, and live your life that way. So there'll be as little regret as possible if and when you look back and say, did I make the right decisions? Am I satisfied with where I've come so far? So you may go to a guru, but believe me, they will ask you, why have you come so far to see what you should be? Even if at the beginning someone else may be better able to reflect back to you something in yourself that you don't see yet. So this gives us cause to pause. It's called the divine nostalgia, the beckoning from beyond. I hope you find that itch and scratch it.